Hi, it's Lisa Salberg with the Hypertrophic Cardiomyopathy Association, and it's February 2013, and that means it's Heart Month. I'm here today because, number one, I was supposed to go around and talk in a few places, but I'm snowed out of the East Coast right now, and I am stuck, if you can call it that, outside of Palo Alto, California, after visiting Stanford's HCM program earlier this week. So I'm sorry that I was not able to be there in person, but I'm sending this video and putting it up on YouTube for anybody else who's interested to talk about a couple of key messages for this year's Heart Month. So, number one, the Hypertrophic Cardiomyopathy Association would like all of our members, as well as the general population and all of our partners in the healthcare community, to be aware of a tool that we offer called the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Risk Assessment Tool. The concept of this tool is for individuals to take a questionnaire of about 25 questions to help identify whether or not they are at risk for sudden cardiac arrest. This form can be filled out by anybody in the privacy of their own home. It can be done online. It can be done in paper. If you'd like a copy, we'll PDF it to you or we'll fax it to you. The information to do that is on our website at 4hcm.org. The risk assessment tool gives you three options to answer, whether you know something, whether you don't know something, to the positive or to the affirmative. So when you ask somebody about their family history of heart disease, we want to say yes or no. But if you really don't know your aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, medical history, and cause of death, there is a level of uncertainty there. So you want to dig into that family tree as much as you can to help identify if there are items that would elicit more investigation and put you in an area that is at a higher risk for heart disease or sudden cardiac arrest. Number two, this form also asks a key question that society doesn't really like to ask too much. Is the child a product of egg or sperm donation, or was the child adopted? If you are an adoptee, or you were a product of egg or sperm donation, detailed medical histories are not very complete. And we want to make sure that those people get more evaluation. And we would argue that it would be reasonable to default to an EKG and possibly an echocardiogram for anybody that falls into that category. There are other things that this form offers, including steps to follow if you do say yes or unsure to one or more of the questions on the questionnaire. Number one, don't panic. These diseases are compatible with a normal life, but surveillance is required for most of them. And in some cases, some interventions are required to ensure that you live a high-quality life with limited disability. So it'll tell you where to go for help, what tests to inquire about, and resources should you be diagnosed. So that's number one. Number two is we would like our communities, our country, to get behind a concept. Sudden cardiac arrest from all causes is the leading cause of death in the United States. Did you hear that? Sudden cardiac arrest is the most common way to die in the USA. Shouldn't we be better prepared? Now, a lot of people are out there talking about CPR training and AED placement, and we commend all their fantastic work. But we want to go a step beyond that. Having an AED on the wall, taking a CPR class once, isn't going to make you act in a moment that is so surreal, words can hardly define it. What will help you prepare is practice. Just like we practice for a fire drill, just like we're practicing for armed invader drills in our schools. The sad reality is, way more children and teachers and parents and grandparents are going to die from sudden cardiac arrest than a fire or gunfire. So in our schools, we need to start teaching our children how to drill for these emergencies. That means we need superintendents of schools to get behind the effort. We need principals, we need school nurses to really start championing these programs in their schools. Just because I can't say it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. So what we need you to do is have an emergency action plan. drill the emergency action plan with faculty and children. Let them know if there's a cardiac emergency, what to do about it. And if people know how to respond according to the emergency action plan set by your school, your place of business, your house of worship, people will have a higher likelihood of surviving to the emergency room and getting care. So what would one of these programs look like? We call it Drill Dr. Heart, and we have an entire program that you can take off of our website free of charge on the basics of how to do it. Number one, you set the emergency action plan. If you have an AED in your building, fantastic. Make sure everybody knows where it is and how to use it. We also offer a great poster to put next to your AED that tells you how to use an AED in basic terms. Number two, make sure people know who to call first. The school nurse, 911. You make the choice as your school. We're not here to tell you what to do. You know what's best for your community. So you make that call as to which way they're going to go, 911. Nurse. You send somebody to help get the AED. In most cases, a school nurse is not the best person to do it because she may be someplace else. So if the teacher or a student, or depending upon the age of the child, they go to get the AED and they bring it back in for an adult and a trained person to use, or in the absence of a trained person, to follow the prompts on the device. These are all the basics of using an AED and drilling it. We teach our young people about scary things every day. And I admit, sudden cardiac arrest is just about as scary as it comes. But if we don't prepare them for the possibility of witnessing one of these events, they're not going to know how to act. And I can tell you, the HCMA has worked with more families who've lost loved ones while capable adults and capable children stood by and watched somebody die because they just didn't know what to do. So we encourage you to get involved with that. What else can I tell you that we can offer? Well, if you are diagnosed with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a rare heart muscle disorder by some people's definition, to us, it's a common genetic disorder that runs in lots of families in the United States, affecting nearly 700,000 people. We want you to know that the HCMA is here as a resource. We provide referral services to the top cardiologists in the country specialized in the treatment of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, support, regional meetings, online forums, Facebook communities. We're out there to help patients become educated patients and good consumers of healthcare product. It's a complicated world out there. You have to know what you're up against, and you have to know how to work the system to get the services that you, your children, and your families need. So, to learn more about hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, visit us at 4hcm.org. And from my lovely room here in Palo Alto, California, actually I think I'm in Menlo Park right now, wish me at some point to get back to New Jersey after Nemo the storm leaves us behind, and hope that my car is not piled in a lot of snow when I get back. Have a happy Heart Month. Be well, and remember to take care of your heart.